Hey, all of my third grade math kiddos. Today's lesson is coming from Miss Atwood's kitchen. So Scout and I baked a pan of brownies this morning. You can see where she tried to sneak a bite. Goodness. But we are talking about comparing fractions. So bear with me because I'm normally used to doing this in front of all of y'all where I get interaction from you and you answer questions that I ask. So this is going to be the short and sweet version, but hopefully it still gets the point across. So on the video from Monday, you watched me as I worked with Skittles and we compared fractions of different colors of Skittles. And we learned that when our denominator is the same, meaning that bottom number that tells us how many are in our total or our whole, that we just need to look at how many pieces there are of each fraction to decide which fraction is greater or which fraction is less than the other. Well, that's easy if you're always working with eighths or if you were always working with fourths. But my question for you today is, if I were to cut up these brownies and give them to you in class, like I normally do, I'm sorry you don't get to taste brownies today. Maybe when we go back to school, I'll make a pan of brownies for each homeroom just for fun. Maybe so. But if I were to start cutting these brownies, I want to know, would you rather have 1/4 of my pan of brownies, or would you rather have 1/8 of my pan of brownies? So parents, if you happen to be watching with your kiddos, don't tell them what they should want. I want them to kind of give you an idea of what they think. So I am just kind of making a mental note of what I think most of y'all will say. Now, I want you to think back to second grade, and you did learn a little bit about comparing fractions, not necessarily comparing fractions, but the size of the pieces of different fractions. So I'm going to start cutting here. So I've got my knife. All right, so here's my pan of brownies. It's my one whole, right? So I am going to make a cut. And of course, if y'all were here, I'd say, okay, what fraction are my brownies cut into now? And you would say halves. All right, so I have 2 pieces right now. So now I'm going to make another cut. Try to make them as even as possible. And I would ask you, okay, what do we have now? And you would say fourths. All right, so if you said a minute ago that you wanted 1/4 of my pan of brownies, here is your piece, okay? Now, I'm going to make a couple of other cuts to turn this into, you guessed it, eighths. So here we go. I always joke when I get a pizza that has not been cut into equal-sized pieces that they did not go to Miss Atwood's class and learn how to cut equal-sized pieces. All right, so here are my 8 pieces of brownies. So if you said earlier that you would rather have 1/8 than 1/4, here is your piece that you would be getting. So tell me, or tell your parents, or make a mental note if you're watching this by yourself, which really is the better size fraction to have. You want the 1/4 because you get more brownie. You get twice as much than if you just got the little 1/8 piece. So if we are working with fractions that have different denominators, so in this case, fourths and eighths, 1/4 is going to be larger than 1/8 because each piece in the whole is a larger piece. Hopefully that makes sense. We will do some more work with this throughout the next couple of weeks, but this was the fun little video for y'all to see it in action. So if you have any questions when we get on our Zoom meeting tonight at 6:30, feel free to ask, and I'm going to enjoy a piece of brownie now.